Let me take you back to the offices here on the 3rd floor at the ZKM about 8 weeks ago, when we decided that we were going to have to shut down the museum and postpone the exhibition Critical Zones Observatory for New Earthly Politics indefinitely. The thing is, we strongly believe that Critical Zones triggers conversations we must have right now. So we wanted to make it accessible as soon as possible. That's why, 8 weeks ago, we decided to try and build a second exhibition, a digital one. With the time to understand what this would mean, finding a team that would be crazy enough to take on the challenge, we had less than 5 weeks to make Critical Zones Digital happen. And with us tonight is co-curator Bettina Korintenberg, who is going to guide us through the exhibition. I'm really excited. Bettina, thank you so much for being with us here tonight. Hello.
Hi, yeah, also from my side, a very warm welcome, and it is an enormous pleasure to share this really very special moment with all of you, the launch of the digital platform of the Critical Zone exhibition.
Exactly, so that's our opening within an opening. I haven't seen the platform yet, so this is going to be my very first moment online, and I can't wait because I've been sitting in all the Zoom meetings for the last 5 weeks discussing about how this is going to look like, so I'm really, really excited. Bettina, let me ask you, when did you first get the link to the digital exhibition, and when was the first time you saw it?
Yeah, the first time I saw it was yesterday around 7:30 p.m. And it was really a race. We then spread out the link. All the colleagues were testing, detecting bugs and mistakes. And we were really working until right now. I just come from my office, to be honest. And now we have a first version. And we had throughout the trajectory of imagining how that could shape out a lot of other ideas that will be implemented a bit later. But yeah, we will have a look on it today, and it was really a very moved and moving time for all of us, but really a time of experimentation, of collectivity, and also of very inspiring conversation. And I want to take this opportunity to really sincerely thank a lot our wonderful collaborators. We joined forces with a Berlin-based agency, Agentur für kranke Medien, which is translated with Agency for Ill Media, which is kind of interesting in the current time, and with our wonderful graphic designers, also from Berlin, Operative Space. And yeah, we tried to imagine what could be the exhibition in a digital space, which is really different from, we are here in an industrial building, and it was quite important for the physical exhibition. And we really reimagined how in the digital that could shape out. And I would like to briefly elaborate on the framework of the platform. So for us, it was clear from the very beginning that we don't want to mimic the physical exhibition, but that we want a complementary experience that is also valuable when you have seen the physical exhibition. And what was also very important for us was to start within the possibilities of the digital, to really think from the digital, which really provides a new context with the delivery to browsers and screens, and which make possible also a very dynamic kind of experience. And we started from two ends. We started new discussions with a couple of artists. And here I want to thank Dan Wilcox from the ZKM Herz Lab, who really did a tremendous job in the last weeks. And I know that he worked some nights through, and he really supported the artists by this translation of their works from the physical to the digital. And we will start with 12 core works, but we will activate and add more works also within the summer. So this is also a growing exhibition, always evolving. And For the platform itself, we started to think from the very specific spatiality of the critical zone itself as an ever-evolving biofilm, which is very reactive and in which all the life forms make up their own space and time from their life conditions, what we have heard a lot already about this evening, in which we are all embedded and entangled and actively co-evolving. Yeah, but now follow me to the platform.
Yes, so maybe I give you just 1 minute to set it up so that we can dive into. I just quickly want to point out that what you said is really important about the regrowing, recomposing. So we already said that Critical Zones, the physical exhibition will be growing, and as you said, the digital exhibition will be growing as well. So yes, Bettina, take it away. I can't wait. What monitor do I have to look at? There are so many here. Where do I see it as well? Oh, there you go. Okay. I'm so ready, Bettina.
So, yeah. It's a simple look at the first glance, but this is already a very special moment, because if you would be right now in Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico, then you would see a different background and a different color scheme of the typography, because this website is responding to the local time you are entering. We are now here in the night mode. That's why we have this gray canvas and this turquoise typography. But in Mexico, you would see a much lighter background and a red typography. And we also have a twilight mode, which is kind of exciting.
I have to say, so all the templates that I saw in the last few weeks were yellow and red. So I was kind of taken aback with the turquoise, but it looks super nice, and the night mode is really charming. Okay.
So we start to scroll, and scrolling is also the main movement you make within this platform. Then we have the title, the subtitle, and a first introduction, a text by Bruno Latour. I will skip that, as we heard already so much about the exhibition, and come to a very exciting feature as well, because we were discussing a lot how we could make visible or create an experience of co-presence and this becoming with. And what is very exciting is that when I move my mouse, maybe you can see it, at the moment 71 entities are here with us, so we have already visitors, and we can, by moving the mouse, we can leave traces. So all the visitors can leave traces here and experience a simple form of co-presence.
Moment, 78 visitors are on this platform just right at this moment right now.
Yeah, but not only visitors, not only humans, we have also non-human entities, because this platform is created as a reactive interface layer, and we conceive also artworks, archive material, texts, instructions, and events as entities, and that forms then the web ecology with the visitors. So
it's like a logical multi-species environment, entanglement.
That's right. And all the entities react with each other, creating a generative space in constant recomposition. That is really an idea we took from the critical zone as a main feature. So the exhibition is constantly evolving, and we invite visitors then to start their field trip by choosing a tag, and the tag system is like the backbone of this generative system. So we put thematic tags to all the entities, the artworks, the texts, and this is the backbone. This is constantly evolving in the background and always recomposing this reactive
layer. The translation of entanglement within code, within tags that kind of make hyperlinks entangle stuff with each other. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
So, and here you can also ask the system to show another path if you like to, what I now kind of try. And then we have really a great moment of recomposition. So every time you enter, you will never see exactly the same situation. You will always encounter a different recomposition. And of course, also with the artworks we will activate, this platform will constantly evolve. And what is interesting, now you're in the reactive critical zone interface layer, which is in the first glance kind of disorienting, which is also a very important moment for us in the exhibition Critical Zones. And you start to encounter the different entities, the texts, which are the sections of the main the physical exhibition, as well as translations of the artworks.
All right, hang on. Apparently we have a question from the audience, Ika.
Well, no, it's not from the audience, it's my question. So you remember we had a lot of discussions about the number of the tags, so we have a lot of tags, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of text, even if we kind of reduce that at the moment, but right now we have a bit more than 50 tags active.
But the interesting bit about the tags is that you don't really see them, right? The public doesn't really see them. It's really the backbone, ecology, the entanglement, really, that the soup, as we internally, we always spoke of the soup, and the tags are organizing the soup, but you don't really see them because the soup is kind of opaque.
Yeah, and this is also, we discussed it a lot. We didn't want to have the idea of control. You can't control the system. You can only register it, like Anna Tsing, the art of registering. So, and for your orientation, you have here the localization. You can always look where you are. The first term is the section you're in. We are in the section we live inside Gaia, and this is the active tag, which is care. So you kind of can orient yourself.
Okay, so that's our compass. But since you can't really control what's happening, maybe this question of mine now is a bit redundant, but can you show us an artwork? If you, I mean, we kind of have to stumble upon everything on this website, but maybe this could be let's try to stumble upon an artwork.
Yeah, maybe we take just the one which is on the screen right now, which is the Topography Time Volcano online version by Andres Bobano, a media artist, and Karen Holmberg, who's a volcanologist and archaeologist.
And who will be on our discussion panel tomorrow, right? So that's going to be a great opportunity to now see her work, and then tomorrow during the panel discussion maybe ask some questions. That's nice. Yeah,
absolutely. And with this work I will take you, or we will take you, in the depths of the interior of the Earth, inside a cave which is located at a volcano in Chile, the Chaitén volcano, which exploded in 2008 and had an enormous impact on the people living around, but also on the geological landscape. It was really transforming the Chilean landscape, the coastline entirely. And we now dive right now into it, and I think we have time to maybe see it.
Look at one or two sections,
Topography, time, satellite surveillance, unexpected Patagonian explosion are concepts of the world and what lies beneath the surface,
so
even
see
now
the explosion
unknown.
Of the volcano,
all coalescing into the global, the round orb and blue marble of the environmental movement, and of that which we see better, the outer of space, suspended, suspension, tension.
So it's 4 chapters, and it was the chapter on the explosion. And what is interesting about volcanoes is that they really connect the surface with the interior of the Earth. It's really this, and make visible this invisible forces which are very below under our feet. And now comes the section where you see a bit the destruction which happens due to the eruption of the volcano.
Topography after the event, a different place. Natural pyramid, distance, beacon, the cycle of waves, never starting, never ending.
And afterwards comes a very interesting section, which is really an immersive environment built with 360-degree photography and photogrammetry, which will take us inside this cave, so inside the interior of the Earth. And what is very interesting here, you can also, as all the visitors, can really explore this cave by moving around. You can yourself find your way a bit through it.
Down, down within, the telluric, the deeply internally earthly. Technological, but not cold.
Yeah, maybe we can also make a little break here. And it's only a side story, but very exciting to me. The sound is composed by the grandson of Yoko Ono.
Bettina, about this little skit that we just saw, so you said it's a 360-degree video where the visitor on the website, on the digital exhibition, can move around and look around.
Yes.
Was that originally thought for Karen Helmberg's work here inside the Critical Zones exhibition as well, or is that a new feature?
No, this is really a new feature. Here it would have been a projection in a smaller space, which we also now have to rethink because of the corona hygienic measurements. And they were super happy to also have this moment of further thinking and experimentation with that work. And they also kind of made 3 chapters out of it, which were also before not. And Karen did also this voiceover is a new feature. So it was really kind of a new work, and they were very excited. We were so lucky with all the artists who really pushed us a lot, and they liked a lot that we took this initiative to make up a new thing.
Yeah, because that's something that I imagine quite difficult as curators. You know, you've been working on the exhibition for, I don't know, a year nearly already, in contact with the artists, and suddenly you call them up saying, okay, so the exhibition is not going to be able to happen. Let's reinvent everything and start from scratch. So that's kind of interesting. Did you? Can you show us another artwork? I think we have time for another one.
So I would have a question. I'm not sure what it was mentioned before, but are the artists in the real exhibition, or will the artists of the real exhibition be the same as all the artists in the virtual exhibition?
As we won't have new artists, but we started the discussion with now more than 20 of them already, and we have already new works in the pipeline to go online already in June. Very exciting work by Armin Linke, Barbara Marcel, who's a Brazilian very young artist. So we have already produced new works which just need a bit of fine-tuning, but in the end we would like at least to give the opportunity to all the artists to have a discussion with us, and maybe to see what is possible in the digital for them, because they really perceive it as a great opportunity.
So this sounds great. The exhibition also there is growing.
Yeah, it's this constantly recomposing element of Critical Zones that we have now adapted and translates so beautifully, actually, in the idea of Critical Zone. I'm seeing now that we actually are approaching our last minute, so we unfortunately won't have the time to delve into a second artwork. But the nice thing is that obviously tomorrow and on Sunday we're going to have some more looks into the digital platform and discover other works with some other members of the curating team. So yeah, and anyway, every time you click on the website, it looks completely different. So it's always a new experience. Bettina, do you want to maybe close off this first glimpse, this first virtual guided tour with a last comment?
Yeah, I would like to finish with a quote by James Lovelock, which I like a lot and which was an inspiration also for the platform. Gaia is an evolving system, a system made up from all living things. It is an emergent domain, a system that has emerged from the reciprocal evolution of organisms and their environment over the eons of life on Earth. Self-regulation emerges as the system evolves. No foresight, planning, or teleology are involved.
Yes, no foresight planning. I just noticed that we have about 30 minutes delay in our program. It's going great, but that's still a moment where I wanted to say thank you, Bettina, for joining us here. Thank you so much. Again, also to the programmers of the website, and later on in the open bar, we will welcome Dennis, one of the programmers of the IFKM. So stay tuned, there we'll have some behind-the-scenes discussions. Now we're going to take another 5 minutes break, and see you after that for the second round of panel discussions. So stay with us.